The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with alien voices as representatives from dozens of species gathered for the monthly technology assessment meeting. Ambassador Rita walked into the massive hall, her human delegation looking small among the towering forms of the older galactic races. The meeting began with routine reports. The bird-like avians announced improvements to their plasma drives. The insectoid hive presented new bioship designs. The crystalline builders shared advances in their reality-bending construction methods. Then came humanity's turn. Rita stood at the speaking podium, her voice steady despite the weight of skeptical gazes. The Human Federation formally announces our intention to construct a Titan-class vessel within the next 5 years. Silence fell across the chamber like a heavy blanket. Then came the laughter. The avian representative, Wing Commander Talon, was the first to speak. His translated voice carried clear amusement. Humans have been in space for barely 2 centuries. Your largest ships are destroyer-class at best. A Titan-class vessel? That's beyond your technological reach by several millennia. The Hive Queen's massive form shifted, her compound eyes gleaming. The youngest species to achieve Titan-class construction were the Stone People, and that took them 4,000 years of spacefaring experience. Humans lack the industrial base, the materials science, and the engineering knowledge. From across the chamber, the builder delegates' crystalline form chimed with harmonic laughter. Even if you somehow acquired the knowledge, where would you get the resources? A single Titan-class ship requires materials from 17 different star systems and manufacturing facilities the size of moons. Rita remained calm, her hands clasped behind her back. We understand the challenges. That's why we're announcing our intentions now, to allow for proper resource allocation and partnership opportunities. More laughter rippled through the chamber. The massive form of rock, the Stone People's eldest representative, leaned forward. Young human, my people have built 3 Titan-class vessels in our history. Each one took centuries to complete and required the combined efforts of our entire civilization. You speak of 5 years as if you were building a simple cargo hauler. The mathematics alone, interjected the floating brain case of the Mind Collective representative, would require computational power your species has never demonstrated. The structural engineering challenges would break your primitive materials, and the energy requirements? Your entire civilization's power output for a decade wouldn't suffice for the initial hull formation. Rita nodded politely at each criticism. We appreciate the concerns. However, humanity has a history of achieving what others consider impossible. We went from first flight to reaching our moon in 66 years. From our first computer to quantum processing in less than a century. Atmospheric flight and primitive computation, scoffed the avian. Child's play compared to Titan-class construction. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, all expressing variations of the same theme. Humanity was delusional. Their ambitions far exceeded their capabilities. They would waste resources and time on an impossible dream. Rita waited for the noise to die down before speaking again. We're not asking for permission. We're announcing our intentions as required by Galactic Council regulations. Whether you believe in our capabilities or not, construction begins in 6 months. The builder delegate's form pulsed with what the translation systems rendered as condescending pity. We've seen species attempt this before they were ready. The Vorthan Empire bankrupted itself, trying to build a Titan 3,000 years too early. The Ghost Fleet civilization literally worked itself to extinction, pursuing the same dream. Those are cautionary tales, added the Hive Queen. Perhaps, instead of wasting time on impossible dreams, humanity should focus on mastering destroyer-class technology. Maybe in a few thousand years, when you've learned proper materials science and energy management. Rita smiled, an expression that seemed to puzzle several of the alien delegates. Humanity appreciates the advice. However, we've already begun preliminary work. Our research teams have been active for the past 2 years. The revelation sent another wave of surprised murmurs through the chamber. Wing Commander Talon's feathers ruffled with apparent concern. You've been working on this in secret? That borders on Council regulation violations. Not in secret, Rita corrected. We simply saw no need to announce research phases. Every species conducts materials research and theoretical engineering studies. The Stone People representative Rock's massive form rumbled with what might have been respect. At least you show proper caution by starting small. Research is wise. Rita's smile widened. Actually, we've moved beyond research. The foundation framework for Shipyard Station Alpha was completed last month. Construction of the main facility begins next quarter. The chamber fell completely silent. Even the constant background hum of translation systems seemed muted. The implications of Rita's words slowly sank in across the assembly of alien minds. Humanity wasn't just dreaming about building a Titan-Class ship. They had already started. 6 months after the Galactic Council meeting, Captain Jack Morrison stood on the observation deck of the transport vessel New Horizon, watching as Shipyard Station Alpha took shape against the star-filled void. The massive construction platform stretched across several kilometers. Its skeletal framework growing daily as automated builders added new sections. Still can't believe Command actually approved this crazy plan, muttered Chief Engineer Lisa Park, joining Jack at the viewport. Her reflection showed a woman in her 40s, graying hair pulled back in a practical ponytail, hands stained with the honest work of building something unprecedented. Jack nodded toward the growing structure. After what happened at the council meeting, backing down wasn't an option. Too many species betting on our failure. The shipyard represented humanity's largest construction project to date. Unlike the elegant bio-grown structures of the hive or the reality-warped constructions of the builders, Station Alpha was purely human in design, modular, practical, and built to be expanded. Massive fabrication bays lined its central spine, while resource processing facilities branched out like the arms of a mechanical octopus. The resource ships are arriving on schedule, Lisa reported, consulting her tablet. The asteroid mining operation in the Kepler system is exceeding projections, and the new quantum foundries are online ahead of schedule. That was the human approach in action. While other species focused on perfecting single technologies over millennia, humanity had learned to integrate multiple solutions quickly. They couldn't match the builder's reality manipulation, but they could build quantum foundries faster than anyone expected. They couldn't create the hive's living ships, but they could strip mine asteroids more efficiently than civilizations that had been doing it for thousands of years. A communication alert chimed. The holographic form of Director Emma Walsh materialized. On the deck, her image transmitted from Earth's Titan Project headquarters. Captain Morrison, we have received another delegation request. Let me guess, Jack said. More species wanting to observe our inevitable failure? Emma's expression was carefully neutral. Actually, this one's different. The Stone People are sending a formal engineering assessment team. They want to offer guidance. Lisa snorted. Guidance or sabotage? Half the galaxy's waiting for us to fail spectacularly. The Stone People are different, Emma replied. Their representative, Rock, seemed genuinely concerned about safety protocols during our last communication. They've experienced Titan-class construction failures before. They know how catastrophic they can be. Through the viewport, another massive cargo ship approached the station, its hull marked with the symbols of the Human Federation's Deep Space Mining Consortium. The vessel looked tiny against the growing framework of Station Alpha, but Jack knew it carried rare elements gathered from the cores of dead planets, materials that most species took centuries to accumulate. What's our current timeline? Jack asked. Lisa consulted her tablet again. Primary framework completion in 18 months. Hull fabrication can begin simultaneously with the final framework sections. We're actually 3 weeks ahead of the original schedule. That was another human advantage: parallel processing. While other species built in careful, sequential stages, humanity had learned to manage multiple complex processes simultaneously. It was messy, chaotic, and occasionally dangerous, but it was fast. The real test comes when we start the hull plating, Emma said. That's when we'll need the new composite materials. Everything depends on whether the quantum foundries can produce them at scale. Jack had seen the test samples, materials that combined human metallurgy with adapted alien technologies. They'd bought, traded, or carefully reverse-engineered techniques from a dozen different species, then combined them in ways none of those species had ever attempted. The resulting materials were theoretically stronger than anything currently used in galactic shipbuilding. Theoretically, any word from the alien observers? Lisa asked. Emma's expression darkened slightly. Mixed reactions. The avians are sending technical analysis teams weekly, looking for flaws. The Hive Queen has gone silent, which probably means they're taking us seriously. The builders ... They're the concerning ones. How so? They've started asking detailed questions about our construction methods. Not mocking questions, serious technical inquiries. If the builders are genuinely curious about human engineering, ... double quotes check, understood the implication. The builders were the galaxy's master constructors, capable of manipulating reality itself to create their vessels. If they were asking questions about human methods, it meant they saw something worth studying. Another alert chimed. This time, it was Chief Materials Officer Tom Chun, calling from the station's primary fabrication bay. Captain, you need to see this. The first full-scale hull section just came out of the foundries. The 3 humans shared a look. This was it, the first real test of whether humanity's ambitious material science could actually work at Titan class. Scale. On our way, Jack said, already moving toward the transport dock. Behind him, Station Alpha continued its steady growth, a testament to human determination, growing larger against the stars with each passing hour. Asterisk. The whole section gleamed under the harsh lights of Fabrication Bay 7, a curved piece of metal, and composite materials that stretched nearly 200 meters from end to end. Captain Jack Morrison approached it slowly, Chief Engineer Lisa Park and Director Emma Walsh flanking him as they took in humanity's first attempt at Titan-class construction materials. Stress test results are in, announced Tom Chun, the chief, materials officer, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. The composite held up to 140% of design specifications before showing any deformation. Lisa let out a slow whistle. That's better than anything currently flying in galactic fleets. The achievement represented 2 years of intensive research and development. Human engineers had taken the best material science from across known space and combined them in entirely new ways. Traditional alien metallurgy met human quantum engineering, resulting in something unprecedented, a hull material that was both incredibly strong and surprisingly lightweight. Emma checked her tablet. What about radiation resistance? Titan class. Ships need to handle exposure to stellar phenomena that would destroy smaller vessels. Tests are ongoing, Tom replied, but preliminary results show the quantum-infused matrix is actually improving under radiation exposure. The energy seems to strengthen the molecular bonds rather than weakening them. Jack ran his hand along the hull section's surface. It felt warm to the touch, slightly rough, completely unlike the smooth biomaterials of hive construction or the crystalline perfection of builder ships. This was distinctly human, functional, adaptable, and built to last. Any word from our observers? He asked Emma. Her expression grew thoughtful. That's the interesting part. We have 3 different species technical teams requesting detailed materials analysis. The stone people want to understand our bonding processes. The avians are fascinated by our radiation adaptation techniques. Even the builders have asked. FR samples. The door to the fabrication bay slid open, and a group of aliens entered. Jack recognized the delegation immediately. Rock, the massive stone people representative, accompanied by 2 avian technical specialists and a floating builder construct. Ah, Rock rumbled, his translated voice carrying surprise. The human materials actually achieved structural integration. This is unexpected. One of the avians, Wing Commander Talon, approached the hull section with obvious curiosity. His feathered head tilted as he examined the surface. The composite structure is unlike anything in our databases. How did you achieve this level of molecular bonding without reality manipulation? Lisa stepped forward, her pride in the work evident. Quantum foundries operating at temperatures we'd never attempted before, combined with gravitational compression. Techniques adapted from your own people's mining operations. The builder construct pulsed with what the translation systems rendered as intense interest. You combined gravitational compression with quantum state manipulation? That should have been impossible. The energy requirements alone. 3 fusion. Plants running in parallel, Tom explained. We had to build an entire power grid just to operate the foundries. Rock's massive form shifted as he processed this information. You built specialized infrastructure just for materials production? Most species use existing facilities for such work. Jack nodded. Existing facilities couldn't handle what we needed, so we built new ones. The simple statement seemed to resonate with the alien observers. The stone people, despite their vast experience, had always adapted their construction to available tools. The idea of building new tools specifically for a single project was distinctly human. Wing Commander Talon's feathers ruffled with what might have been respect. Your species appears to approach engineering from a fundamentally different perspective. Where we seek to perfect existing methods, you create entirely new ones. It's not always efficient, Lisa admitted, but it gives us options other species don't have. The builder construct drifted closer to the hull section, its sensors analyzing the material in ways human instruments couldn't match. After several minutes of silent examination, it finally spoke. This material design shows characteristics we have not encountered. It grows stronger under stress rather than weaker. How is this possible? Tom smiled. The quantum matrix actually reorganizes under pressure, creating stronger bonds. We call it adaptive strengthening. The more stress you put on it, the tougher it gets, up to a point. The aliens exchanged looks, or the equivalent for their various species. Rock was the first to speak. This changes our understanding of your capabilities. If your hull materials can exceed standard galactic specifications, then maybe a Titan-class ship isn't impossible after all. Jack finished. The observation seemed to settle over the group like a weight. For months, the galactic community had watched humanity's shipbuilding efforts with amused skepticism. Now, faced with actual results that exceeded their expectations, that amusement was transforming into something else entirely. Emma's tablet chimed with an incoming priority message. She glanced at it, and her expression grew serious. Captain, we just received a formal communication from the Galactic Council. They're sending a full technical assessment team to evaluate our progress. Jack looked at the hull section, then at the assembled aliens, and finally at his own team. Tell them they're welcome. We've got nothing to hide. As the delegation prepared to leave, Rock paused at the bay entrance. Human Morrison, the stone people representative rumbled. My species has built Titans before. What you are attempting, it has never been done this quickly. Be careful that your ambition does not exceed your wisdom. Jack nodded respectfully. We appreciate the warning, but humanity has never been known for taking the safe path. Asterisk, the Galactic Council's technical assessment team arrived at Station Alpha with the fanfare of a military inspection. Their massive evaluation ship, the Universal Standard, docked with the human station amid a cloud of observer vessels from a dozen different species. News of humanity's successful hull tests had spread across the galaxy, transforming casual interest into serious attention. Captain Jack Morrison stood in the station's main conference room, watching as representatives from the galaxy's most advanced civilizations filed in. Unlike the previous visits, this wasn't about curiosity or amusement. These beings were here to determine whether humanity posed a threat to the established galactic order. The lead assessor was Admiral Stoneheart of the Ancient Confederacy, a species so old they had helped establish the first galactic building, Codes. Her crystalline form towered over the assembled humans, her translated voice carrying the authority of 10,000 years of spacefaring experience. "We are here," she announced, "to conduct a formal evaluation of human Titan-class construction capabilities. The materials testing data you provided has raised ... questions about your technological development rate." Director Emma Walsh activated the room's holographic display system. "We're prepared to provide full transparency. All construction data, material specifications, and project timelines are available for your review." The display showed Station Alpha in its current state, a massive construction platform nearly complete, with the first sections of the actual Titan-class vessel already taking shape in the primary assembly bay. The ship's skeleton was beginning to emerge, and even in its incomplete state, it was clearly enormous. Wing Commander Tellin, representing the avian technocracy, studied the holographic model with obvious surprise. "You've progressed from materials testing to actual hull construction in only 3 months?" Chief Engineer Lisa Park nodded. "Once we proved the materials worked, we began parallel construction phases. The framework sections are being assembled, while we continue testing more advanced hull components." "Parallel construction," rumbled Rock of the Stone People. "Most species complete one phase entirely before beginning the next. This approach introduces significant risk factors, but it also cuts construction time by 70%, Lisa replied. "We've built redundancy into every system to manage the risks." The builder representative, a more advanced construct than previous visitors, drifted toward the holographic display. Its analysis was immediate and thorough. The structural design incorporates elements from 17 different galactic architectural traditions, yet maintains internal consistency. "How did you achieve this integration without conflicting methodologies?" Emma stepped forward. "We studied every available Titan-class design in the galactic database, then developed our own hybrid approach. Instead of following any single tradition, we took the best elements from each." Admiral Stoneheart's form pulsed with what seemed to be concern. "No species has ever attempted such comprehensive technological integration. The coordination requirements alone should have been impossible for your level of governmental complexity." Jack decided it was time to reveal humanity's biggest advantage. "We didn't use governmental coordination. The entire project is managed by artificial intelligence systems, working in real-time coordination with human engineers." The statement created a stir among the assessment team. AI coordination was known to most galactic species, but humans had developed it to an unprecedented degree. Where other civilizations used AI as assistants, humanity had created true partnerships between artificial and biological intelligence. "Your AI systems manage construction phases independently?" asked the Hive Queen's representative, a smaller version of the massive royal form. Lisa nodded toward the display, which shifted to show the station's control systems. "Every construction team has AI support. Every materials fabrication process is AI monitored. Every structural analysis is AI assisted. But the A's don't make decisions. They enhance human decision-making by processing data faster than biological minds can handle. Tom Chun activated another display showing the quantum foundries in operation. Our AIs can analyze material stress in real time and adjust production parameters instantly. What takes other species weeks of testing, we can optimize in hours. The assessment team fell silent as they absorbed the implications. Humanity hadn't just built better materials or larger facilities. They had fundamentally changed the construction process itself. Admiral Stoneheart was the first to speak. You have created a hybrid intelligence approach to engineering that no galactic species has achieved. Your aim is extend human capabilities rather than replacing them. Exactly, Jack confirmed. We're not trying to build like other species. We're building like humans, but better humans than we could be alone. The builder constructs sensors focused intently on the construction displays. This approach explains your accelerated development timeline. You are not bound by the sequential decision-making that limits biological-only construction management. Rock's massive form shifted thoughtfully. But what safeguards prevent your A is from making errors that compound across multiple construction phases. Emma smiled. That's where human oversight remains critical. The A is optimized processes, but humans maintain strategic control. Every major decision still requires human approval. Wing Commander Talon's feathers ruffled with what appeared to be growing respect. You have maintained the safety of biological oversight while gaining the efficiency of artificial processing. This is sophisticated. Admiral Stoneheart moved closer to the holographic display, studying the ship design with new attention. Show us the projected completion timeline. The display updated, showing construction phases mapped across the next 18 months. The assessment team watched in stunned silence as the timeline revealed humanity's true ambition. They weren't just building a Titan-class ship quickly. They were building it faster than any species in galactic history. 15 months to completion, Jack announced quietly. From groundbreaking to space trials. The room erupted in surprised voices as the full scope of humanity's achievement became clear. 18 months after construction began, the Titan's dream hung in space above Station Alpha like a monument to human determination. The massive ship stretched nearly 4 kilometers from bow to stern, its hull gleaming with the distinctive composite materials that had surprised the galaxy. Ships from dozens of species formed a vast observation fleet around the construction site, their crews witnessing something unprecedented in galactic history. Captain Jack Morrison stood on the bridge of humanity's first Titan-class vessel, running final system checks with his crew. The bridge itself was a testament to human engineering philosophy, functional, adaptable, and designed for biological beings working in partnership with artificial intelligence. Holographic displays surrounded each station, while AI assistants provided real-time analysis and support. All systems showing green, reported Chief Engineer Lisa Park from her station. Quantum drives are stable, structural integrity is optimal, and the AI coordination networks are fully integrated. Director Emma Walsh's voice came through the communication system from Station Alpha's command center. Global news networks are our EPORTING record viewership for the launch. Every major species has diplomatic observers present. The Galactic Council has 3 separate evaluation teams monitoring our performance. Through the bridge's main viewport, Jack could see the observer fleet. The massive forms of stone people battleships floated alongside sleek avian cruisers and the bioorganic curves of hive vessels. Even the mysterious builder ships had emerged from their usual isolation to witness this moment. Any final words from our critics? Jack asked with a slight smile. Emma's response carried amusement. Admiral Stoneheart sent a formal message, acknowledging that humanity has exceeded all reasonable expectations. Wing Commander Talon's technical report describes our achievement as unprecedented in galactic engineering history. Even the Builder Collective has requested detailed construction documentation. The transformation in galactic opinion had been remarkable. What began as skeptical amusement had evolved through grudging respect to genuine awe. Humanity hadn't just built a Titan-Class ship. They had revolutionized the construction process itself. Tong Chun, now serving as the ship's materials science officer, called out from his station. Hull stress readings are perfect. The adaptive strengthening is working exactly as designed. We're actually registering stronger structural integrity than our projections indicated. That was perhaps humanity's greatest achievement. The quantum enhanced. Hull materials didn't just meet Titan-class specifications, they exceeded them. Under the stress of launch preparations, the ship's hull was literally becoming stronger, adapting to the forces acting upon it. "Propulsion systems ready," announced the AI coordinator, its voice seamlessly integrated with the bridge operations. "Quantum drives show optimal alignment. Gravitational shielding is active and stable." Lisa looked up from her engineering console. "Captain, we're ready for departure." All construction teams have been evacuated from Station Alpha. The ship is fully autonomous. Jack took a deep breath. This was the moment 2 years of impossible work had led to. In the next few minutes, humanity would prove definitively that they belonged among the galaxy's premier spacefaring civilizations. "Open a channel to all observer vessels," he commanded. The communication system activated, carrying his voice across the assembled fleet. "This is Captain Morrison of the Human Federation starship, Titan's Dream. Today marks not just the launch of our first Titan-class vessel, but humanity's commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible." He paused, looking out at the ships. Surrounding them, representatives of species that had been exploring space for millennia, watching as the galaxy's youngest civilization achieved something remarkable. To those who supported our efforts, we offer our gratitude. To those who doubted our capabilities, we offer proof that determination and innovation can overcome any obstacle. The Titan's Dream represents more than human engineering. It represents the principle that any species, regardless of age or experience, can contribute something new to our shared galactic community. A communication alert chimed. Rocks massive. Form appeared on the main display, transmitted from the Stone People flagship. "Captain Morrison, on behalf of the Stone People, I formally acknowledge humanity's achievement. You have built something that honors the tradition of Titan-class construction, while advancing it in ways we never imagined." Similar messages followed from the other observer species. Even the typically reserved builders transmitted a formal recognition of human engineering excellence. Emma's voice came through one final time. "Captain, you have clearance for departure. Station Alpha control is transferring to the Titan's Dream for autonomous flight." Jack looked around the bridge at his crew engineers, scientists, and dreamers who had made the impossible possible. "Engage quantum drives. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do." The Titan's Dream began to move, its massive bulk accelerating with surprising grace. The quantum drives hummed with contained power as the ship left Station Alpha behind, heading toward open space for its first full-speed trials. Behind them, the observer fleet followed at a respectful distance, their crews recording every detail of humanity's triumph. The species that no one believed could build a Titan-class ship had not only succeeded, they had changed the galaxy's understanding of what was possible.